Hey friend, welcome back to Chronic Health Solutions. Okay, evening chaos. The kids are bouncing around. Homework or schoolwork or whatever you have going on is half done. The kitchen is a mess and your brain refuses to slow down. Does that sound familiar? You've made it through the day, but now you're staring down the hours before bedtime, wondering how you can possibly help everyone settle, including yourself. Welcome back to our holiday series. Today we're going to be talking about the pressure so many of us feel during the holiday months, the expectation to do it all, make everything magical, and keep everyone happy. For moms with chronic illness or chronic symptoms, that pressure can feel impossible to keep up with. But what if I told you that there is a simple way to reclaim your evenings without guilt? One that does not require perfect routines or Pinterest-worthy setups, but still helps you to feel calm, restored, and connected to your family. That's what we're diving into today, so let's get started. Welcome to Chronic Health Solutions. If you're more than just a tired mom, I'm talking trying to make it through the day without crashing by noon, you're not alone. I'm Ashley, a wife, mom, and certified health coach. I have been where you are, battling chronic health symptoms and chronic illness, things like brain fog, joint pain, and fatigue that made me wonder if I'd ever feel like myself again. After uncovering root causes like stress, poor sleep, and hormone imbalance, I found simple health routines to begin to feel better, one simple habit at a time. Keeping up with your kids is not impossible. Pop in your earbuds and take a break from the chaos. It's you time. Sometimes it feels like no matter what you do, the exhaustion, the stress, and the overwhelm never let up. You want to be more present with your kids, you want to have energy for your family, and you want to finally feel like you're doing enough and honestly just feel better, but it all feels out of reach. My one-on-one chronic health coaching is going to give you a way forward. Together, we're going to create anchoring routines and micro habits that are going to actually fit your life, calm your nervous system, and give you the space to rest, reset, and finally start to feel like yourself again. No more guessing or struggling alone, just simple, actionable steps that are going to help you to move forward, and they're also going to finally stick. All right, if you want to learn more, you can go to ashleybraden.com/coaching. That is ASHLEYBRADEN.com/COACHING. Or you can find the link in the show notes below. I'll see you soon. I remember a December evening trying desperately to keep up with all of the holiday magic expectations. I had some essential oils going in the diffuser. I had a simmer pot on the stove. I had a special hot cocoa recipe lined up and ready to go, and a list of some fun activities that I wanted to do to create the perfect cozy night for my family. Instead, it was chaos. Kids running around, fighting. My husband and I were both trying to figure out a plan basically and figure out how we were going to do all of our activities, fit those into the few hours we had free for the evening. I ended up just feeling frustrated, guilty, and more exhausted than whenever the evening started. I remember feeling like, why can I not provide really calm, peaceful activities and evenings, fun things for my family that I really just wanted for them? And I know I'm not alone in that feeling. I've had moms tell me that they feel the same way, especially during the holiday months. That night, I remember sitting on the couch and just feeling burnt out and just honestly a little bit discouraged. And it hit me that the elaborate plans and routines were not working. What I really needed were small intentional cues or these tiny anchors that would help everyone's nervous system to reset and kind of calm, and also just help us to enjoy each other during the holiday season without that stress and chaos. And that's where I've really tried to start working on what are some evening wind down anchors that we can begin to implement into our house. Because even lately, we have been having some struggles with wind down, bedtime, all of that. And so I have been trying to plan and figure out what are some additional things we can do. And I want to share them with you today as well. So let's talk about some evening wind down anchors that you can try and see how your family responds to them. The first one could be some kind of a warm drink and a story. It could be maybe a hot cocoa. It could be an herbal tea if they like the tea and it's age appropriate. I shared previously, my kids personally love hot chocolate, and I like to add pumpkin spice to mine. I will do like a sugar-free. I sweeten it with usually monk fruit, and then I just add some pumpkin spice, and it's delicious. It could be that you're reading like a holiday story, or maybe you're doing some kind of a Bible devotional together. You could dim the lights and sit under a blanket for like a cozy calm down time. Or it could just be that you're just sitting and talking to each other. No running around, no fast movement, to just try to kind of slow things down, along with having that warm drink as well. Okay, number 2 could be pajamas and then some kind of stretching. So change into your warm, cozy holiday or winter pajamas. Everyone get their pajamas on, and then maybe you just do 5 to 10 minutes of some stretching. And you focus on deep breaths and then end with like a hug or just a snuggle. Again, you could grab your blanket after that and snuggle under the blanket. Okay, number 3 could be a bath and calm play. So taking some kind of a warm bath with calming scents, lavender, vanilla, anything like that. And if it's for you, you could also, which I do this for my kids too, I will add Epsom salt to it as well for that magnesium. If it's you, you could do the Epsom salt bath. Maybe you add some essential oils into the diffuser and just enjoy that, kind of like almost like a mini spa experience. You could just have some quiet toys that they could play with. It could be like, okay, we can each pick one toy, something that you know is not going to get them wound up, so they can have the bath, and then after that, or in the bath, they can have their toy to play with. And then after they're done with the bath, or after you're done with the bath, then you just go straight to pajamas and going to bed and trying to unwind. Okay, number 4 could be maybe you have like a bedtime prayer or saying the things you're thankful for that day. So everyone gets into their beds and again, get your blankets, get cozy, comfortable, share one thing that you're thankful for from the day. With our kids, we will ask them what they were most excited about or what their favorite thing was for the day. You can always switch this question to where it's age appropriate. And then just everyone gets to just offer them the chance to pray if they want. And we're, again, keeping our voices calm and soft. We're always looking for that calm, soft, slow pace when we're looking at evening routines. You could also get some battery-operated candles and turn off all the overhead lights, all lamps, and just have those candles on to, again, signal the body, okay, it's time for us to start winding down for bed. And then, just do your prayer and what you're thankful for and have that as a consistent bedtime routine. Number 5, this would be something you might do a little bit before you're starting to get ready for bed, but it would be a good wind down activity. And this could be like a calm, simple craft or coloring. In my opinion, coloring is my favorite. If you can get some coloring pages, adult coloring books as well, play some relaxing music in the background, and everyone gets themselves like some crayons, colored pencils, whatever, gets cozy somewhere. And then just do 10 to 15 minutes of quietly coloring and listening to that music. You can, again, keep the conversation quiet, gentle, avoid the excitement or the games, and then transition to bedtime after that. Okay, number 6 could be a warm, cozy blanket or like a sleep sack, depending on how old your kid is, and then breathing. So practicing taking those deep breaths. So one thing that you can do, and I love helping my kids learn how to take deep breaths. And what I love about this is whenever I notice that they will begin to implement it in their own lives when they're feeling frustrated or overwhelmed or whatever, and seeing how it actually does help them to be able to calm down and to manage their emotions in the moment is so helpful. And if you're struggling with how do I teach my kids how to take a deep breath, one, I show them exactly how to do it. I will, in the moment, show them this is what we do, and I have them do it with me. But another way you can describe it is that you want them to smell the flower, so for the breathing in, and then blow out the candle for breathing out. And it's just a great way, simple, basic way to teach young kids how to take a deep breath. Okay, number 7 would be maybe a consistent routine. And this is so important. We talk about sleep hygiene and creating those consistent evening bedtime routines to signal to your body that it is time to go to sleep. So the more consistent you can be with this, the better. And again, it could just be that you have like a certain steps, like it's your 5-step bedtime routine or something like that. And it could look something like this. Maybe you go ahead and do like some stretching or some deep breathing. Then you go ahead and let them have a warm drink and then get their bath after that. Then they do read a book or say what they're thankful for. Then you go ahead and do a prayer and then they go to bed. Again, keeping that consistency is going to signal to their bodies, okay, it is bedtime. This is what we do at night. When X, Y, and Z happen, we go to sleep. So your body is going to understand that and begin to produce that melatonin and really start to get ready for bed. Okay, number 8 is to create a cozy sensory routine. And again, I am all about the sensory. I am all about the cozy environment. So this is one of my favorites. And we've actually touched on pretty much all of these, but if we can really figure out, okay, I want to create a cozy sensory routine. I'm going to do this every single night. This is exactly what I'm going to do. It will take that guesswork out of it, and it will also create that consistency. So maybe it is that you dim the lights, you turn on some battery operated candles, or if you have some like clean candles, you light those. You use soft blankets, you play some quiet nature music, winter sound, gentle worship music, whatever you want to do. Then you offer some kind of like a calming sensory item. It could be a weighted blanket, could be a weighted stuffed animal, could be a pillow, could be a specific warm, cozy blanket, anything like that. And then you just encourage your kids to maybe do a couple of deep breaths and then get ready to lie down and go to sleep. I also personally love to add magnesium cream. I make my own for my family, and adding that into their bedtime routine, I notice whenever we do that they do tend to fall asleep more quickly. And so that could be another thing you could add in as well. Okay, so these are some of the strategies that I teach in my coaching programs. And this is just really helping you guys to learn, how can I create that consistent routine in my family so that we can get the best sleep possible without feeling overwhelmed or adding more stress to our schedule. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go check it out at ashleybraden.com/coaching. And then I just want to encourage you, looking at these, you really can begin to just pick one or just a couple and begin implementing these anchors, just starting at 10 to 15 minutes tops. You don't want to go over that because it's going to be really hard to stick with it if you've suddenly decided that you're going to create an hour bedtime routine. You're probably not going to stick with that. So stick with starting, okay, I'm going to do 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to pick the ones that I feel like work best for my family, and I'm going to go with that. So starting with 1 to 2 of those evening anchors, dimming the lights, doing a warm drink, or maybe you're doing a bath, saying what you're thankful for. It could be that you are getting a warm drink and then doing some gentle stretching. And then as you get consistent with that over time, then maybe you add something else. And this is great. You can even ask your kids, here's this list. What sounds the best to you? And really let them join you on creating that evening routine and move on from there. Like build from there after you've got that initial foundation laid and you're being consistent with that. And then I just also want to encourage you that even those small shared moments, they really do matter. Like making eye contact with your kid, listening to them when they're speaking to you, being really engaged and connected with them with that eye contact. It could be that, again, we're saying what we're thankful for that day, or we're giving them a hug. Those can make such a difference in helping to regulate our nervous system and help us feel connected with those around us, with those in our home. So start with those. Again, you can always adjust based on your energy level and how you're feeling. Again, we're looking at, is this a low energy or a high energy week? And some nights it might be that we're going to do the bare minimum of our evening anchors, our evening wind down anchors. And it might just be that you only have the capacity for 5 minutes, or it could be that this is a high energy week for you and you want to try adding in an extra evening anchor. And so you're now going to do a third one, and maybe it takes you 25 minutes. Really being able to be flexible, but as consistent as possible. And again, even if we're only doing one of them, but we're doing it consistently, that is still better than doing nothing at all. Okay, so I also want to encourage you, if you have like kids who really resist bedtime, and we do, something else I've been reading about and that I would like to try would be creating short, predictable cues. So like, again, we're looking at the slow breath. Here's a warm drink. Here, we dim the lights at this time and we know it's getting close to bedtime. Maybe it's that you play a specific song or a specific type of music. Those are going to train their nervous system that it's time to unwind and to go to bed. And it also works on training hours as well. Remember though, these anchors are going to be flexible. They're not about creating this rigid schedule that you have to stick to that adds more stress and overwhelm to your daily life. It's not about adding more tasks. It's about giving everyone, including you, a chance to unwind and really get some good quality rest, especially when we're looking at that chaos of the holiday season, whenever it is so necessary, when so many germs are going around and we're more prone to get sick. If we can really prioritize taking care of our bodies and resting appropriately, it just puts us in such a better place to deal with all of the extras that come during this holiday season. Okay, so this week I want you to pick one evening anchor to implement. Dim the lights, sip some kind of a warm drink, do a 5-second hug with your child. Notice how your mood, your body, and your family respond. And then remember, you don't need to do it all to make it meaningful. These small moments are going to be the ones that build over time and that your kids really will remember. They're going to remember that you are a healthy, happy mom who was connected and engaged, who was not stressed and screaming and yelling because she was trying to cram everything in, but she was engaged and she was present. That's what they're going to remember, that you were consistent in trying to take care of them, take care of yourself, and build that connection. So let's figure out ways we can do this around the holiday season without pushing ourselves to the point of crashing. If you want more guidance on that, again, come visit me over at ashleybraden.com/coaching. I would love to work with you. That is all for this episode, and I'll see you back next time. Hey friend, I hope you found today's episode helpful. If you did, would you take a minute to share it with another mom who's struggling with chronic symptoms? And leave a review on Apple Podcasts. It means the world to me to know this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to go tackle those snack requests, and remember that a short walk, even if the kids turn it into a race, still counts as self-care. Keep chasing those little wins. Even when it feels messy, you're making progress. The information shared in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your healthcare provider before making any changes to your health routine. I'm not a doctor, and this podcast is not intended to treat or diagnose any condition. You're the expert on your body. Listen to it and reach out to a trusted provider for support.